Hi, I'm Chad, and you're watching Squarebody Stuff. Alright, in the last video, I had the block not looking like this. I done some relieving on the top of the block to unshroud the valves, and in the meantime, I got bored the other night, needed some inspiration, so kind of mocked everything up. So sometimes you just need to have a little inspiration to get a project going that's been taking a long time. So I stuck the heads on there, I stuck the intake on there. It's just all kind of sitting on there. Put the headers on there just to get a little bit of a visual on what to expect out of this thing. I even put the oil pan, just kind of stuck it on there with a couple bolts. And yeah, it's looking pretty cool. What I'm going to concentrate on this video is I'm going to pull all this stuff off there. During my last video, I had the one cylinder head stuck on there, so kind of show how the block and the heads and everything kind of flow together. It was hard to get a camera in there to really see what's going on, but go check out that video. It might interest you if you haven't watched it already. But what I did notice is my oil return for the cylinder heads, where the cylinder heads meet the block, there's a little bit of a restriction there. So that's what I'm going to go over in this video. I'm going to try to go ahead and get this block cleaned up, because after I get that little bit ground down off the block, this block needs to be cleaned thoroughly, and I want to get it painted. So that's what I'm going to try to concentrate on for this video. Yeah, let's just hang out and see what I come up with. I want to show you real quick what I was talking about with the oil drain back before I pull this other cylinder head off. I've got this side of the block marked right there with the head gasket of what I need to take off. If I can get in here on the other side, you can see down in there, you can see that it's a little bit blocked off. And I know it may not seem like much, but those two holes right there is all the oil drain back you have from the top end. So yeah, I want to make sure I get plenty of oil flow back down to the pan from the cylinder heads, and no real disruptions between the cylinder heads and the pan. And you see I've already done a little bit of work to the block to help with oil drain back to the rear and also to the front. This little bit there will help just a little bit more. And I believe that's going to be the last little bit of grinding on this block, and then I'll get it cleaned up. I want to get this thing painted, so at least, because having this thing stored in the shop without climate control, I've got to make sure this whole thing don't turn into a rust ball. So if I can at least get the outside painted, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I think I'm finally done grinding on this block. Got my oil returns cleaned up the way I want to. Now I'm going to wheel this thing outside the door, set up some lights where I can see what I'm doing, and put some mineral spirits in a little sprayer and hose this thing down and get it as clean as I possibly can. other block's about as clean as it's going to get with what I have. So hopefully I can keep this thing from flash rusting on the cylinders and all that stuff. I might probably wipe some of the cylinders and maybe the deck down with some WD-40 to keep them from rusting. Some of the insides I'm not too worried about getting just a little bit of flash rust, but in the meantime I'm going to get some heat on it. It's not too bad in here as far as temperature. My thermometer says about 60. I'm gonna try to get some heat on it, get it warmed up a little bit, and that way the primer and everything will stick to it good. And while it's heating up, I'll start taping it off and everything. And I might be a hot, sweaty mess after that, but you know, it's part of it. Now I spared you guys the whole priming and painting process. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Now it's not a professional paint job or nothing like that. Taping isn't the best, but it works. And I've got to hose down some WD-40, so no flash rusting. Everything's going to be good. I know this video wasn't, you know, a whole lot of really good stuff going on, but it's part of the process. Got to make sure they're clean. And for me, I don't care how much I clean these things. They're never going to be clean enough. But you just got to do the best you can with what you got. Just make sure you don't have a whole lot of crap in there and get them good and clean. Get them painted up where they look pretty. I mean, the truck, what they're going in, it doesn't matter what that looks like. Just as long as your engine looks good. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Till next time, y'all keep your square bodies rolling. We'll catch you later.